Okay, so before we get going, I just want to state that watching this film whilst knowing nothing about basketball and the people that play it was easily the worst decision I've made since watching 2006's James Bond reboot Casino Royale, whilst knowing absolutely nothing about poker. Actually, I think it might be a worse decision than watching Casino Royale, because at least that film didn't expect me to know and be a fan of various poker players. But that's the least of this thing's issues. I mean, is it even a film? It doesn't feel like one. It feels like something put together by a marketing department in a company that's trying to ensure its future by reminiscing about its past via the medium of the Looney Tunes. I mean, it has no soul, no vision for what it tried to do. It either needed more money or a more nimble CGI department, or to tweak some serious issues in the background which distracted in the foreground. And that's not a metaphor for studio interference, by the way. I literally mean that what was happening in the background of the frame stopped me from noticing what was meant to be happening with the main characters, and it simply didn't need to. Look, I get it. The original film was based off of a series of 30 seconds adverts, but it was at least fun to watch, bright, colourful, and most importantly, it didn't outstay its welcome at a mere 88 minutes, where this lasts almost 2 hours, which is way too long for a product of this type. The worst thing is that there are some potentially interesting ideas and messages sprinkled within. Not the film's actual message. If I see one more film about be yourself and the most important thing is family, I think I'm going to scream. Oh, and also the plot is way too complicated for what this product needs. I mean, the original had a very simple plot, but here the product ties itself in knots, whereupon deep in Warner Brothers, a sentient algorithm, played with scenery chewing relish by Don Cheadle, has decided to work LeBron James into classic films for a reason known only to itself. This somehow leads to James and his son getting trapped in VR, and the only way to get them and apparently millions of people, don't ask, out is to win a basketball game. Naturally. Like I said, 90 to 95 minutes would have been plenty to tell this tale. But whatever. Putting that dross to one side for the moment, we find the tunes scattered around all of WB's IPs, try saying that 5 times fast, which I found funny. But how many ankle biters are going to recognise clips from Casablanca, The Matrix, Mad Max Fury Road, and Austin Powers of all films?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
And here the film has an interesting idea. The only tune left on Toon World, every franchise IP has its own world, don't ask, is Bugs Bunny quietly getting wasted on carrot juice because all the other tunes have left to go and live in the other worlds, which could be an interesting idea. The tunes, feeling that age and fearing that they might be headed towards irrelevance, have set off to live in the other worlds. And Bugs, along with superfan LeBron James, set out to put the band back together and show the tunes that people still love them as much as they ever did. Or have Cheadle put together a team of villains from across WB, and James has to put together a team of heroes in a bid to stop a bad thing. There are so many ideas for this world, and this product takes advantage of none of them, instead sticking rigidly to the formula devised by the first one. But the first one ran with it's an idea. Here there's just a feeling of a studio going, look what we have. You liked Harry Potter 15 years ago, right? Well look, we still own that world, so you still know us and love us, right? It's a film about the past but with no eye to the future. The tunes get turned into CGI for no reason beyond, I assuming, making life easier for the artists. The match itself starts at pretty much the hour mark and just keeps going for roughly 40 minutes or 400 years, and it just repeats its own what I think are meant to be jokes, but the film only made me smile maybe twice. I could imagine a lot of kids getting fidgety and bored in this, because I know I was. Because this product isn't designed to be enjoyed in and of itself. It feels like it was an advert designed for WB's own app, with the tunes in classic films and Cheadle and James being the celeb spokespeople for how amazing it is, before the tagline about how all your classics from child and adulthood are now in their new home, which you can access for so much a month or year. I could understand that campaign. But instead, some exec somewhere saw this campaign and decided to make a Space Jam movie, since the idea of an ad campaign becoming a movie, which is actually an ad campaign, has a pleasing circularity to it. Instead, we get reference, the product, which brings me to what I was saying about the backgrounds. You see, aside from millions of people who seem weirdly okay with being sucked into VR to watch a basketball game whereupon, if James loses, they have to spend eternity in Game of Thrones Season 8, the other half of the audience is made up of every character that WB owns. leaving aside the droogs from Clockwork Orange being in the background, you also get more iconic roles such as the Ice Zombies from GOT, or Adam West's Batman in clear focus, but instead of being CGI recreations or digital trickery, you get cosplayers. And not even good cosplayers, or people who look vaguely close to Adam West or Burt Ward.
Oh, you can say that over the phone, Batman, but if I had you here, I'd pound you to a pulp!
Start pounding, Joker.
But instead, it looks like they simply grabbed the first person who said they had a costume as if to say, that'll do. And I apologise for not talking more about the product more directly, but there's nothing to say. Did you like the first one? Then here's another one that's sort of like it without any of the fun or interesting characters and a longer runtime to boot. The plot's confusing and yet simplistic, and I just didn't feel like anyone wanted to make a film. They wanted to make a product to advertise their IPs and HBO Max, but they didn't have the guts to actually say that. The opportunities were there, the plot was there, the chance to retell this story and introduce the Looney Tunes to a new generation was there, but this, whatever lab this thing was designed in, just didn't care about that. Look, I've said enough, this product has left a bad taste in my mouth, and I'm going to watch something not made by WB and hoping that it goes away. So this is a bomb. Do not see this film under any circumstances, but what did you guys think, and what is your opinion on the original Space Jam? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, it's been a Dunking. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.